Hmm. That is not. Give me a second. First of all, I hate this angle because my face looks a lot bigger than it is. And I know because I took some pictures yesterday, but oh man. Okay, first of all, how you doing? Didn't expect anybody to show up. It's like what, 11 p.m. already? But I can't sleep. It's humid as I don't know what, because it was almost 90 degrees today. How's it going? Whew. Yeah. I'll record over the weekend because there's a lot to cover. This episode, like, even though I didn't like this week's episode, the more I watched it, the more I'm just like, wow, there are a lot of things that we can discuss pertaining to these characters, because the Fatima and Andi thing goes really deep, and I'm really not looking forward to seeing the worst of Zach in these upcoming episodes. I'll tell you that. Hang on. I wonder if I could share like multiple screens at once. Give me a second. If you're just coming in, I'm trying to figure out. What if I move that there? Can I move that there? I need to play around with this thing more. Okay, but simply put, first of all, screen frozen, or am I, still moving correctly? This is kind of a mini practice stream because typically when I'm doing my live streams and I want to show you the trailer as I'm watching it in real time, when I screen share, I end up. So far, am I good? Can you see me? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I'm thinking one of two things. Karen is going to ask for another DNA test, or she's going to confide in Dr. Vaughn about not wanting to be a mom anymore, or possibly giving up her child for adoption. Okay, you can see me. Okay, yeah, I noticed on this end. Yeah, my stream hasn't frozen. Okay, good, good. So, like I said, this is practice for like next week. When somebody sends me the trailer, I can have it on screen, because when I tried sharing in the past, it would freeze up. It's probably the weather, because right now it's 74 and clear as I don't know what outside. Hey, thanks for joining in. And a few people sent me like late birthday gifts this week, which I appreciated. Some Cash App and PayPal donations, and other people were curious. So that's why I have it on screen here. If you want to donate, feel free. Because when super chats and all that stuff are great, but YouTube takes a percent of that. So if you're someone who wants to send like a birthday present, or just saying, hey, thanks for the videos, if you send to any one of these three platforms, then all the money goes directly to me, not through YouTube. They take a chunk and then that's it. But hey, how's it going? Man, I swear I just can't. I try to go to sleep, but I can't. I don't know if it's because it's humid, miserable, or what. I mean, let's be real here. Do you think Karen really cares if Aaron has a say in it? I mean, I'd probably have to look up the legal and ups and downs of it, but I'm pretty sure if she doesn't want to be a mom, she can give up her baby. Because I mean, don't women do that all the time? Like, they go through the pregnancy, they go through labor, but then they realize I can't be a mom, so then they put their child up for adoption. But in Aaron's case, he could just simply file for sole custody and then that'll be it. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. But then there's also, because I think what did Karen say? I don't want to say anything that'll be perceived the wrong way. So I'm wondering if she's going to ask the doctor for like another round of DNA test, or I can see now, doctor, are you sure those DNA test results are right? Well, he can't, he's the father. Well, this is Karen. Now we know when she gets alone with a doctor, she's going to be saying and asking questions that she wouldn't do it if anybody else was around. I can't forget how when the doctor the first time was going to tell her the timeline of her pregnancy, she asked for Aaron to be out the room. And obviously, Karen, I don't believe she's in any condition to drive herself to the hospital. So I'm willing to bet Aaron or her mom or somebody takes her there, because Dr. Bond probably wants to do like a checkup to make sure everything is okay. I do know Andi stops by her apartment, so I mean, Andi could drop her off. I don't know how she'd get home though, because we know Andi goes to the office to chastise Fatima. So I don't know. I don't know. And yeah, I'm kind of doing some late night grocery shopping. Essentially, I'm just putting stuff in my cart. I'm not going to, commit to buying it yet, because if I do delivery, it really depends on what time I wake up in the morning. Yeah. Um, but yeah, and I mean, a lot of people have been commenting on my video about Andi confronting Fatima about practicing law. Please don't say that. Please don't. You know I'm telling the truth though. Karen doesn't care. Yeah, Karen does not care what Aaron thinks or says. Karen might give Aaron the baby. It's possible. But here's the thing though, Karen, even if you do give up the baby, what are you going to do then? Are you going to still pursue Zach? If he's on that birth certificate, she can sign over her birthright and give sole custody. Well, it's not that they tested the wrong sack. They said that they tested both, and Zach was only a match for one of them. She wanted Faith to be Zach's baby. Yeah, I agree. I agree. They never retested to say he's the father. That was one of my gripes when Aaron came back into the show. Actually, I said, Aaron, if I were him, I would ask to get another test, because remember, the reason he left was because Karen was like, there's a 99.999% chance you ain't the father, Aaron, and I need some space so you can go. So to then receive a phone call from Karen saying that, well, you're the other father and Zach's another father, I feel like Aaron was just so happy to be back in Karen's life, he didn't care. That's what I think. Yeah, you're right. The writers did say forget about it, saying like Karen never got tested, which is a massive contradiction, which raises a whole lot of red flags. But it's just one of the things where the new writers took their own liberties with the script after Tyler did what he did. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, and I hate that the writing has gotten to the point where we need this, but we need like Tyler and these writers to kind of sit down and explain it to us, like the way the timeline works, and you know, Zatima versus Sistas. It shouldn't be this complicated, but the most damning part is like when you promote a show to be tied to another show, a spinoff or whatever, it shouldn't be this complicated. Yeah, the continuity is just awful. Yeah, because I know I predicted this because I know people didn't like it, but I said, what if Tyler or whoever makes it where, oh no, we made a mistake. It was actually Aaron's baby that died instead of Zach's. Bro, do you know how messed up that would be? Do you know how messed up that would be? Fatima tells Danny and Zach overhears, I was relieved that it was Zach's baby that was a stillborn. Then imagine if Faith is actually Zach's baby. Do you know how awkward that would be? Yeah, you're right. Too much stuff. Oh, yeah, I did see that. What is it? Why Did I Get Married 3? They're going to start filming in Italy. The DNA is over. Zach's baby's gone. Look, you're not wrong about that, but this is a Tyler Perry show. So they could always do something crazy like, oh, it's the wrong results. They could do something like that because the same thing happened in the game when Melanie got a nursing friend or a medical school friend to test Derwin Jr. And it said it wasn't Derwin's son. But then she got a phone call from her friend saying, hey, I did the test wrong and I did it again and he's a match. And then that led to a whole lot of drama. You don't even watch the Sabrina parts? I don't blame you. Yeah, Why Did I Get Married 3 is finally happening. It really is. Leave the Rico thing. It's way past that. Nah, it's not happening. And I'm going to assume it's Aaron's baby too, because remember, they ran DNA tests on both kids to see which one was the stillborn. At least that's what or let me just put it this way. They probably ran both fathers' DNA on the stillborn to determine, okay, that was Zach's baby. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee that Faith is Aaron's kid. That's my hypothesis. I'm pretty sure Janet is going to be in that movie. Yes, I mean, imagine this time next week we're going to be talking about Zatima, which is pretty cool to think about. Oh, good lord! I mean, just because it looks good doesn't mean it will be good. I don't mean to sound negative. I'm just being real. I got so much to do this weekend before Beyond the Gates comes back. Nah, don't say the show. The show ain't going nowhere, folks. It's too popular. Now, I don't know what's going to happen post season 10, but we know from history that they always change the information about a character or they forgot. Yeah, plot convenience. Yeah, especially with the Leslie plot line, it looks like a thriller. I don't think she's going to die, though. I wonder if Gary will be back. I think he is supposed to be back. I don't know for certain, but I just don't see Cheeto being gone for an entire season. But I'm not mad that he's gone, though. Kind of mix up the formula a bit. All right. Any other questions and whatnot? I'm just checking my messages real quick. Yeah, the show don't need to be canceled. I don't care. I mean, until or unless another show comes along that'll give me a lot of views and ad revenue. No, people thought I was being mean and insensitive when I said she never wanted a baby. She just wanted a link to Zach. That's all she wanted, a link to Zach. I don't know. Maybe Karen is the one who goes missing. Maybe Rich abducts Sabrina. Gary and Andi, it better not do that because they've already done that crap when Jasmine took her. Karen probably just gets fed up. I mean, imagine if she asked the doctor to retest the DNA or other things like that. And it's like, no, that's Aaron's baby. What's her name? Jennifer. We probably will never see her again. That was just a random ad that they really didn't do anything with. I was pissed off by that. I don't think Zach is going to be included, but that is an interesting topic of discussion. Like, technically speaking, he could sue for what? Grief or emotional turmoil or whatever. I'm no lawyer, but I believe that is viable because the child that was lost belonged to him and Karen. So, technically speaking, he could be involved with the win. That will be good for him because we know he's low on funds right now. So, just saying. Nah, we don't need Jonah to come back like that storyline. Plus, he's in jail too. He's in jail. I know, like, Aaron better not do anything crazy, like leave Karen alone with the baby, and then she just like doesn't want to be in the baby side. Or I'm sorry, I don't like it when you call her the baby. That's our daughter. That's our daughter. I was distracting seeing me in a little square. I'm thinking about cutting all this off over the weekend. Yeah, my first thought was Andi when I read the synopsis. I'm like, no, they shouldn't do that so soon. Sabrina, her street weight, well, being a garden tool, some dude's going to scoop her up. But then Karen makes the most sense narratively in terms of disappearing, not abduction, but disappearing. That was my thought process too, because even before they got to the waiting room, as they were, I think, didn't Karen either say on the way to the hospital or after Fatima got her a seat, she said something doesn't feel right. And you could say that they could sue the hospital for negligence, but even still, like Dr. Vaughn said, there was a chance the baby passed within the past 24 hours. So, personally speaking, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor, I think the baby passed before Karen even went to the hospital, got to the hospital. That's my thought process. But in terms of Dr. Cruz not doing an ultrasound, not giving her meds and whatnot, that's the stuff that makes him an accessory, if you will. Because had he done the bare minimum of what Dr. Bond did with getting an ultrasound and whatnot, they could have caught the fact that, ooh, we got a stillborn here. So, and also you could say that Benson might try to block the lawsuit himself. Remember, he has a lot of pull being a partner. You're right. The doctor did ignore her. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they could prove the baby died, but before the hospital, but I don't know. Margaret, I don't know if I would go that far in terms of because Fatima's pregnant, she wants Zach to focus on her, not Karen. Nah, I don't think that was it. Yeah, I think the baby passed some episodes ago. And remember when Zach said he didn't feel kicks, that was days in advance. It wasn't like, wait, plus that happened like before that 1 month time skip. I think they can sue for malpractice, emotional distress. Yep, there you go. That's on the money right there. That's what they could sue for. Oh, hey. Thank you, Chelsea. Just got the notification. Sent me a $10 cash app. Thank you. I appreciate that. You want to send it to my bank account right now. Yeah, 25 fee. Oh, 25 cents. Yeah, that's when him and Zach argued about who is baby daddy number one. I agree. They probably ain't throwing out that line for no reason. But then again, you know how these writers are like, one writer probably thought they were clever setting something up, but then another writer will just act like that line never happened. So, I mean, if you want to have multiple writers, that's all well and good, but you would think they would at least compare notes. That way there's a flow to the season. And I'm not saying a season has to plan out the way I want it or the way you want it, but to set it up in a way that it feels like we're building a story here. Because, like I said, the Sabrina thing makes absolutely no sense. We sat through two seasons of this woman wanting to be a mom, wanting to get a sperm donor, but then now she wants to be a hoe. Yeah, you're right. The doctor did say she had something to tell her. That was handled in off screenland. Yeah, Margaret, we talked about that. I got a video on it already. Oh, yeah, that's right. Joan did have an older guy in that one episode of Girlfriends. I don't remember. I think I said this during my live Wednesday too, or was it with a fan through DMs? I'm like, I would have liked Frank to be a good guy for Sabrina. Now they didn't have to be in game, but it would be kind of interesting to see one of the ladies with an older gentleman, and also an older gentleman who's mature and established, and would call out Sabrina for her BS. Yeah, the cohesiveness and consistency is all over the place. The only consistency is that there's no consistency. It's ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. Her friend almost died and lost a child. You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that. And I mean, even though Karen got a clean bill of health from the doctors multiple times, whether it be false labor, bleeding out, getting caught in the fire, that kind of stuff. My thing was this woman was 35 plus, and she was putting a lot of stress on herself, raising her blood pressure, going off on people, getting into trouble. But the most damning thing is that no matter how many times the doctor or doctors told her, Karen, you need to be put on bed rest. Karen, you need to not work. Karen, you need to not stress. What was the first thing this woman would do? Everything the doctors told her not to do. I need to go check on the salon. I need to go see Andi, or go over to Zach and Fatima's just to raise hell. That's basically what she did. And it didn't matter if her mom or if Aaron said, hey, don't worry, I'm going to go over to the shop to make sure everything is cool, or don't worry, I'm going to go, get the groceries for you. Karen always had to be active. And by that, I mean always had to get involved in some BS. It's like the only way for Karen's nerves to be calm was after she went off on somebody. Because I know it's bad to say, but I can't stop thinking about the season 7 mid-season finale at the mocktail party where Karen invited Pam just to kind of have her back. And she went in on Danny. And if I'm not mistaken, that was that at that one party, that was when she called Fatima a B word more times than I can, like, in one sitting. She literally, because remember, Danny invited Fatima. Sabrina and Andi were happy to see her, and they were having a great time. Then as soon as Karen and Pam showed up in all black, they just sucked the fun right out of the room. Just sucked the fun out of the room. Raised hell and then left. And then I'll never forget the way she waddled into her apartment, plopped down on the couch and went, whew. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's the only way you'll calm down. It's like you're relieved that you told somebody off. And then she got on the phone and called Pam, thanking her for having her back. And then she got the revelation of a lifetime when she got the call from the doctor telling her we tested both sacks, and yes, Zachary Taylor is the father. Oh yeah, the DNA test was formality, but I knew that. Or actually, the second sack wasn't him. What? Yeah, you're right about that, geriatric. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, I'm speaking facts. Yeah, thank you. And that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Dr. Cruz and whatnot, and those negligent nurses, they did not help the situation. But she left the mock party with a smile on her face. Yeah, because she thought she did something. I don't know if I would have shipped Vaughn and Karen. I wouldn't have done that. But no, that's the thing. It's like people want to point the finger at Dr. Cruz and the hospital, but if we're looking at the entire timeline of her pregnancy, to act like Karen had nothing to do with her miscarriage is no. Like I said, I don't care how many times the doctor said you're good to go, but you need bed rest or you need to not stress. What happened? Karen would do the complete opposite. Like her mom would get on her. But that was another thing. It's like that's a byproduct of nobody checking Karen when needed. Like, you would think, if nothing else, Miss Lisa would get on her. But then again, I can't help but think about season 5, when Karen was bent out of shape after being put on lockdown by her mom for barely 24 hours. Barely 24 hours. Again, barely 24 hours with her mom. And I thought to myself, the only reason Karen is losing her mind is because she's not running around raising hell. That's it. My mama got me feel like I'm in a prison. It's like, because I think her mom took her phone. Her mom wouldn't let her go out. And I'm just like, yeah, because you need to rest. You literally were bleeding out in the salon. The last thing you need to do is going up. It's like, hey, Andi, can you tell my mama that you and the girls are going to keep an eye on me and that she has nothing to worry about? Well, now look. Yeah, she caused her own stress and problems. She's a Karen fan. I mean, it's cool if you're a Karen fan, if you're a Fatima fan, but you got to look at the facts. You got to look at the facts. Yeah, that's right. Zach accidentally revealed the pregnancy and Karen went into fake labor. You were clocking it. Yeah, people didn't like it, but I was telling the truth. And what was it when Marie called that sister circle meeting and Andi was like, I'm going to include you on speaker. And what did Karen say? Oh, no, I'm coming. And then as soon as she got home, Miss Lisa tore ass a new one. Well, Andi needed me. F Andi. And I'm like, oh, but we got some more people in here. Let me share the screen again. My bad. Thanks. A couple of y'all have donated. So again, if you want to, I will put it on the screen again if you want to donate. If you want to contribute, because like I said, I'm about to probably grocery shop this, and groceries are kind of up in price. So feel free to donate. If you do not, that is fine. Watching my content supports the channel. Again, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal. It could be $2. It could be $5. Every little bit helps. A late birthday present. Oh yeah, side note, my mom is back at work. My sister went back to work for a couple hours, but they said, you know what, we'll let you have off till Sunday. So they're both like COVID free. It's just that they're exhausted from the sickness, but they're good now. But it's still like, yeah, I'm not really going down there until maybe late next week once they cleaned everything, because they already said they disinfected most of the house, but I ain't taking no chances. So yeah, because I told my sister, look, we didn't do anything for our birthdays, maybe later this month, so I don't know, we'll figure something out, but as long as I don't get sick, I'm good. All right, so back to the discussion here. Let me pull up the chat. It's okay to be a Karen fan, but it seems like Karen's actions in some of the recent seasons. I mean, hey, it's their prerogative. I can't really speak upon another YouTuber and their thoughts. It's just like I get up here and give my thoughts and opinions, but I also back them up with facts. I mean, I do have my favorite characters. I do have the characters I don't tend to gel with, but sometimes you see me defending Karen. Sometimes you see me defending Fatima like I will for the next week. Oh, yeah, that's why I did that video. I said, watch Fatima's career blow up, and then Zach is going to get on her about not resting. Yeah, the writers are all over the place right now. I don't know where Miss Lisa is, and Sabrina's storyline is stupid. And that's Dawn, that's another thing. If Karen was so adamant about having Zach's child, she knew this child was her only way to hold a tether to Zach. Don't you think she would have gone above and beyond to make show, as she would say, show that she was well rested, that she was taking care of herself, that she was trying to alleviate stress in order to make her pregnancy as positive as possible? That way, it would highly decrease the chances of any further pregnancy complications. But it just seems like she was so adamant about flaunting this pregnancy in Zach's and Fatima's faces that it all came crumbling down, and she's a broken woman. She's a broken woman. Yeah, that's the thing. You can have your favorite characters, but you got to hold them accountable. Her mom's been gone for Noah's Ark, 40 days and 40 nights. Yeah, she probably went back to the woods. She probably dropped them groceries off at the front door like she was Walmart delivery and kept it moving. Good for her. You're asking, how do you guys feel about the players sending Fatima gifts? Good for her. I mean, it's not really hard to understand. Dr. Vaughn said that the baby may have died within the past 24 hours. So I don't know if there's any way to fully confirm that. Well, that's the thing, though. Miss Lisa wasn't really a great mom. It's like she coddled her child. She taught her, like, don't take disrespect from anyone, but she never got disrespected by her daughter until now. So, yeah, it's like you would think the relief of, wow, Karen's baby's gone. Now my pregnancy will go off without a hitch. But then you got to remember Jeremiah flipped her and all this other stuff. So I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim. $20. Happy birthday. I appreciate that. I'm letting you know any money I get tonight is going to grocery shopping over the weekend. I appreciate that. And like I said, sending funds through any of the three or apps on screen means YouTube doesn't take any of that money. Also, side note, somebody asked me about, hey, I clicked on your video and an ad was the first thing that popped up. Yeah, that's how YouTube works. Look, YouTube is free, but these ads are how I make money. And I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I just wish that I knew Antoinette. Thank you, Antoinette. $15. Thank you, 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 thank you. Like I said, I appreciate it because times are tough, and for people to reach into their wallets and even send a couple bucks, it really means a lot. It does. Because YouTube keeps telling me to, Jeremy, create memberships. And my thing is like, I know channels do that. It's like for as little as $1, you'll get like a sticker or something. First of all, YouTube will take most of that dollar. Secondly, I don't really want to promote like memberships or tiers or Patreon unless I have exclusive content that you get a bang for your buck, or there's an overflowing of people wanting to show support. And well, I guess, creating those venues is how to do it. So there you go. You don't remember Jeremiah flipping Fatima to the pavement in season 3, episode 1 of Zatima? You don't remember that? And now she passed out from the stress of the gun going off. Karen has started some new mess texting Zach. When did she text Zach? Are you talking about this week's episode? I don't remember that. Yo, that's what pissed me off. Miss Lisa rarely held Karen accountable, then she dips. No, but this is just like the letter reading when Karen thought the entire night would be about her speaking, but then when Fatima called her out about popping over to the house unannounced, and Miss Lisa was like, wait, you do that? And then she's like, no, get out, get out. And I'm like, yeah, because she's a brat. Miss Lisa did not do a good job raising her daughter. Thank God for Aaron. Fatima should not be taking gifts. That's against ethic laws. I hate to say this because people say this to me all the time, but it's a TV show. But the thing is, you can't help but address real world implications. But then again, you got to remember, since it's a show, they take liberties. But that's what makes it so annoying, where sometimes they'll abide by protocol of real life. But then in other episodes, they'll just hand wave it away for the sake of the plot. Oh, hang on. Let me read this. I used to laugh at Miss Lisa not holding her accountable, and she would call out the men for stressing out Karen. Well, no. And that's another thing that annoyed me. Aaron would piggyback off of a situation, because just like Miss Lisa, he would automatically assume Karen was stressed because of him. Well, by that I mean Zach's the one causing you stress, when it's like, Aaron, shut up. Karen was the one that popped over at his house unannounced to start some crap. It's just like the Brittany Renner situation where that video of her and her mom going off on her baby daddy, who's the basketball player and married to another woman. It's like, it's the same thing there. It's like they want to start some crap, but it's like, no, it's stupid. It's stupid. Yeah, because Crystal said, like, she's not Fatima in terms of holding a man down the way she's doing with Zach. And I'm glad, because that's just ridiculous. I get it. They're a fan favorite couple, but when you look at the nitty gritty of their dynamic, it's pretty rough. PJ Washington. Yeah, that's his name. And that's what's going to piss me off. So, Zach, you can rightfully be in a funk, but the moment you notice your woman getting some play by a player, ball player that is, now you want to get all up in your feelings. Like, no, like, you were laughing and hugging and smiling with Karen, reminiscing, but Fatima's doing her job, and now it's like, oh, okay. I love how y'all are using the same phrase I've been using this season. The characters are feeling their feelings, and that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, hang on, I got another email. Oh, Suzanne, thank you for the Zelly. Thank you, Suzanne, for the Zelly. I just got it. Y'all are working wonders now. I mean, I might be able to get these groceries tomorrow morning. Thank you. Like I said, any money helps. It really does. Because it's just crazy to look at the calendar and realize the holidays are right around the corner. And I'm like, I'm just not in a place to be celebrating. But hey, I'm grateful for the house. I got my decorations out in the storage unit, and I'm like, I told my nephew, like, I don't know if there's gonna be any gifts or anything. I told him, like, you spend a lot of time here. Your gift is the guest room. People are upset about it because they're so used to having Fatima not express herself, and that's the thing. Somebody pointed out, Jeremy. She even said, give her some grace. I'm not going to fault Fatima for feeling her feelings. Now, I might not agree with what she said, but I'm not going to fault her for feeling that way, because it's like I said Wednesday night. I don't know if I speak for all of us, but I don't know. There might be someone in your family or somebody, if they passed, you probably wouldn't shed a tear, and that's not that's a fact. That's why I don't care about her being appreciative about her gifts. She deserves them, and I'm not talking crap about it. I'm not. She didn't ask for those gifts. She just did a hell of a good job. But like I said, if Andi was the one getting all the flowers and all those gifts, oh, it's all cool. She just being a hater. Ain't no hateration or holleration in this dancery. Plus, I don't even think I really want anything. I'm talking like for the holidays. I mean, most of my purchases nowadays are business or house related. Like, oh, I got a new something for the kitchen. Because my thing is, like, as soon as I get my YouTube money, I automatically pay my mortgage. That's like the first thing. Mortgage, electricity are like the two things that automatically get sent out. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Oh, hang on. I wish the writers would let Aaron express himself, because I feel like Aaron feels the same way. I want to know what he was about to tell Miss Lisa, but he didn't say it. Wait, do you mean how did he get her home address? He probably asked the firm. He's probably like, hey, I was working with Fatima Wilson, and I'd like to send a gift. So is there a way I could forward it to her? That's how I feel like the players got the address. People have also been saying Zach is feeling guilty because he's also relieved. I have a video planned about that. But the thing is, I think if he is feeling relief, that's buried. And he's just concerned because the man has lost so much. Yeah, he cut himself off. I mean, better to be truthful about her feelings than just bottling them up. And Dawn, that's another good point. I mean, I talked about how much of Karen's grief is directed towards losing forever versus how much of her grief is directed towards losing her tether to Zach. But on the flip side, how much of Zach's grief is related to losing his daughter versus how much of his grief is related to losing his connection to Karen? That's something I haven't really talked about, but it is something that's worth exploring. That's one of the most frustrating comments I get. It's like, Jeremy, how come you always call out Fatima? Or Jeremy, how come you always call out Karen, but you never call out Zach? And I'm like, there are over 11,700 videos on this channel. Clearly, these people have not checked out my full back catalog, because there have been videos where I drag Zach. There have been videos where I praise Zach. The same could be said for Karen and Fatima and so many others. But then again, I don't care, because as long as I get views. But the thing is, I'm giving you content, and I mean good content, not to toot my own horn. Because when I go in on someone, I'm going to give you a laundry list of reasons why. When I'm going to hype someone up, I'm going to give you a laundry list reason why. See, that's the thing. Fatima, you got to think about her feelings. And I don't blame her for feeling relief, because after everything Karen put her through for the past 8 months, give or take, that was a taste of what life was going to be like for the rest of her life, so long as she stayed with Zach. Because it didn't matter once they got married or once they had children of their own. Karen was still going to be around raising hell. Like, I could see it now. Oh, so you can make time to go to your child's recital, but you couldn't make time to go to Forever's soccer game or whatever. It would always be a competition. It would always be a competition. Yeah, I wanted to start a trust for my half of the baby. It's like, oh gosh. Seems like this season is going to be about Karen struggling emotionally. Yep. Oh, this is anonymous. Somebody, I got an anonymous donation for $15. It says anonymous. So anonymous, whoever you are, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, bro. Like I said, y'all keep going. I'm gonna be able to get these groceries in the morning, and I'll be good to go for the next couple weeks. I told my nephew, look, I get my YouTube money on the 22nd, because we fight back and forth. Because he's like, wait, why are you selling? Actually, they're gonna say, let me bring. Okay, so you got me full screen. So he's mad that I'm selling some of my Power Ranger stuff, but I told him, like, look, this is how I do eBay. I buy some cool stuff, usually for my own personal collection, but at the same time, if I'm strapped for cash, or if I notice a certain item skyrockets in terms of price, then I got to sell it if I really need the money. Like, for example, I bought this for like $40 when it first came out. Now on eBay, these are going for like $300-400. This Dino Fury Morpher, I kind of want to keep it because it's the Battleizer Morpher, but I bought it for like 25. It's going for like 60 now. And this one, I do hate to sell it, but these are going for close to 1,000. It's the Power Ranger Master Morpher. I got 2 of them though, because when I pre-ordered, you can only get 2. It's the last piece of Power Ranger merchandise that Jason, David, Frank, Tommy, it got all the coins in his voice, just like in the what was the season? Dimensions in Danger was the episode. Ninja Steel. So I got 2 of these, and I told him, look, I got to sell 1. It's brand new. I kept it sealed and everything. So I listed it on eBay. Look, he has his own stock of figures and stuff that I told him, like, look, by the time you graduate high school, you're probably sitting on $1,000 or so, and I can help you sell it, just because I told him, like, look, you just started 9th grade, and think about it. This month and next month are your only 2 full months of the school year. November, you get Thanksgiving, and then you go a couple weeks in December, and you're off until after New Year. And I'm like, do that 3 more times, and you're out of school. So, it's the conversation of, like, what will he plan to do? Like, it's just crazy. Oh yeah, side note, I was going to do a video about this on my other channel, but did you catch the Breakfast Club interview with Trey Diggs? Because there was a clip they posted about him responding to, like, actors like himself who, like, went to acting school and have an incredible resume, losing out on roles to people who are influencers. And he went into detail about, like, the rules change. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much how it was. Because my generation, we went to, school, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, and you could pay them loans off. But halfway through college, that's when these jobs started, like, yo, you got to have experience. It's like, wait, what? And the rules change. So, that's how it is. And that's why I always have, a side hustle. Well, eBay is my other side hustle, right. Jeremy, I'm glad she honestly spoke about how she feels. Yeah, Fatima, that was good. Without Zach and Karen, the storyline is born. That's another thing that I'm worried about pertaining to Sistas. It's the fact that they put too much energy. I feel like, and look, the writing isn't great, but I feel like the best writing went into the Zach, Karen, and Fatima stuff. But now that the pregnancy is over, like, what exactly do you do? And that's where they dropped the ball. Instead of giving Sabrina compelling stories, instead of giving Danny compelling stories, they just freak it up with, relationship crap. They almost feel like an afterthought. Like in the movie Think Like a Man, you had Michael Ealy, Terrence J, the bald head dude who was with Megan Good, and then the guy that was with Gabrielle Union. They had the stories, like they had like legit storylines. Kevin Hart was there for comedy, like the comedic relief. That's where they messed up with Sistas. Instead of like Danny being the only one comic relief, they also put Sabrina in that category too. And while Sabrina, I wasn't a fan of the being a mother storyline, but at least that was a storyline. But now they just threw it away with the wanting to be a hoe thing, and that's stupid. It's stupid. It seems like the writers didn't know what to do with Sabrina. I feel the same way because I feel like Maurice is going to have a more compelling storyline than her, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Okay, let me get this screen back. Sent me an email saying I don't have the funds. I have to donate. It is appreciated because I will put the money to good use. Like, don't feel bad if you can't, because maybe you're watching the live stream playback and, well, it's on screen. If you want to donate via Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal, feel free to do so. And I will say it 100 times. I'll say it 200 times. I appreciate you. And like I said, if you can't donate, you watching my content does help. It does. I feel sorry for Aaron. I kind of don't, because, and look, I don't mean to sound cruel, but How many times did this woman have to tell you no, but you still stuck around? I don't know why she was lying to everyone. It just makes it feel weird that she didn't accept this. Well, she didn't push up the date to go get drinks for romance. She did it to file this case. I guess it's within her character. I need to do an interview with the writers. I really do. All I know is my girl Fatima needs a break. Yeah. But they're not going to take a break because the drama is what fuels discussion. I mean, if we're being real here, a show without drama, what would we even talk about? Well, that's some good black love. And I mean, that would be a great thing to talk about, but it wouldn't be enough to sustain, the series. Because what do they say? Drama sells. It's like what they say, scandal sells magazines and newspapers. Oh, yeah. Side note, did anybody buy Powerball tickets? I bought a 10 Thursday, and I need to win the big jackpot. I can win like a part of it and still be happy. Like the first thing I would do clearly is pay off the house. That's the first order of business. Then I pay off my credit cards. Whoops, did I freeze up? Hang on, I'm just checking my messages real quick. I'll catch up with the chat momentarily. The chat, my bad. I think I would have liked to see what we saw in season 2. Yeah, I agree. Season 2, I think, was like the peak of the show because the characters were growing. The only reason Karen was tolerable was because Aaron was having a positive impact on her. Okay. Yeah, season 2 Karen, I think, was the best Karen, but up until the credit card thing. I don't see Fatima disappearing. I mean, that possible. Aaron accepts from Karen everything he wouldn't accept from his wife. Woo, that's a bar. No, they better not do an Andi and Robin spinoff. They don't have to do a spinoff, but what if they did like a mini arc where Andi goes across the ocean to visit Robin? I mean, you think about it. They went to location to film Medea Destination Wedding. They're going to Italy to film Why Did I Get Married 3? So why not have like a mini episode run like that? And I know Zach can't leave the country, but plot conveniences, why not do like a Zatima honeymoon? I think he accepts that crap from Karen because she's the first black woman who gave him some play. Man, that is pretty telling. Sorry if I'm starting to sweat. That's another reason I'm thinking about cutting all this off. because it's hot. I haven't shaved since like pre-birthday. Yeah, so I haven't shaved since I turned 34. Yeah. Oh crap, we've been up here for an hour. All right, folks, man, y'all surprised me. I might do another live stream on my other channel. It probably won't be an hour long, but it will just be me popping in to say hey. But yeah, thanks to y'all donating. I think for the most part, I think I only got like $100 in my Walmart cart. So it's away from the donations matching what I need to buy. But I do. That's why I love being a Walmart Plus member. Ooh, delivery tip. Yeah, if I don't get groceries today, it'll probably be Sunday. Oh, it's supposed to rain today too. Yeah, it might be Sunday. Because just want to get this stuff while prices are not horrible. Thankfully, some of the things I bought have decreased, but printer ink has gone up dramatically. And that is just, I remember when I get a cartridge for like $20. Now them suckers, the colored ink is like $40. Those used to be like 27. Crazy stuff. All right. Well, I'm going to cut this live stream, and I appreciate you all for showing up. Like I said, again, thanks to those who donated. And if you're watching the playback, I'm going to thank you in advance because I feel like somebody's going to bless me out of nowhere. So if you choose to donate on Cash App, Zelly, or PayPal after watching the playback, I appreciate you. And I hope you have a great, oh yeah, they beating a dead horse with the Zatima stuff. I don't know what they're doing with Pam either. She's like barely making appearances. She showed up like twice via phone call and then over at Karen's apartment, and that was it. I'd much rather follow her story. Yep. Okay, well, folks, good night. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you next week.